Hello, welcome back to my channel. Hope we are all doing well, still in lockdown, still holding strong. Hope everyone's doing all right. Yeah, it's another sit down video, guys. Sorry about that. It's yeah, what can I say? We're doing the best we can with what we've got, right? We're not allowed out, so this is the next best thing, and I still wanna talk about theme parks, still wanna talk about roller coasters, still got lots to say, lots going on. And yeah, today what I wanted to do was sit down and talk about, this sounds really weird to say and really optimistic, and I mean, you're probably gonna read the title of this video and kind of roll your eyes back and go, yeah, like that's never gonna happen, haha. But 2021 trip plans, what's going on? What are my kind of hopes and dreams for the 2021 season? Where am I hoping to get out to? What am I hoping to tick off the bucket list, if anything? Where am I hoping to get back to? What new roller coasters am I hoping to ride? What old roller coasters am I hoping to re-ride? And everything else in between. The idea being that it should my YouTube channel continue, as I very much hope it does, every year I would like to kind of sit down and talk you through what my kind of plans are for the season. I'll put a bit of a disclaimer in now. I'm not gonna kind of undercut every single thing I'm gonna say in this video with like, okay, pandemic pending, or well, we hope, fingers crossed. Like, you know that that's the deal. You know that everything I'm saying in this video and everything I'm planning, everything I'm talking about is coming from a very optimistic perspective and on the understanding that all of these things are planned to happen should social distancing be lifted, should we be allowed to travel again. Just understand that that's where I'm coming from, and that's where these trip plans come to life, because I'll end up saying it kind of 20 times over if I have to start every single section with, well, you know, COVID depending, we'll go here. Like, no, like, we know that that's the deal, and we agree to kind of put that negativity to one side and kind of humour me while we go through this video, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Humour me. I just wanted to talk about something a little bit optimistic, and I know I'm not alone because I've put out a few videos and kind of tweets and stuff. Trip planning really helps cheer me up, and especially, like, I mean, it's something that's always, like, during the closed season or the off season, or whatever you want to call it, the weird period between the season proper, not talking seasonal events, but that kind of the dark, dreary bit between kind of November and March the following year where there's not really a lot going on. I always historically have got myself through that period by hardcore getting into trip planning and kind of dreaming what I'm going to be doing the next season. And this year's very much the same. So I'm really hoping that I can continue doing that. It's kind of tied me over. I can't believe we're only in January still. I know this is always how it goes. January really drags, and then all of a sudden it's April. I'm hoping that happens again, and I'm hoping we get to April in a much better state than we are in now. But that aside, let's get stuck in, talk 2021 plans, where I'm planning to go, what parks I'm planning to visit, what coasters I'm planning to ride this season. So I'm going to skip January and February for obvious reasons. RIP Velvet Coaster Sesh. I was planning to go to Blackpool for opening weekend, but obviously that's not happening. Let's just dive straight in at March and just pretend that January and February didn't happen. So March, typically for me, I like to kind of stay in the UK, usually in March, and that is a really exciting time for UK enthusiasts because it's when all of our parks start to reopen and when all of our new news attractions start to open. They're usually a bit staggered and a bit like, they don't tend to all open at the same time, which is really good because you can kind of go weekend to weekend or like day by day over the weekends and kind of visit all of the parks and enjoy all the new stuff. So I am planning on going to Alton Towers Resort for their opening weekend. Got my hotel room booked for that one, and obviously hoping to get on Gangster Granny the ride should that open, and then obviously back on our kind of old favourites, Nemesis, Oblivion, Pizza Pasta Buffet, all that good stuff. And obviously I'm really excited to get back to the ATH, the Alton Towers Hotel, because it's been ages, it's been so long since I've been to the Alton Towers Hotel, and usually not a season goes by where I don't do at least one stay on resort Alton Towers, so really excited to get back there. We'll also be visiting Chessington World of Adventures Resort for Croc Drop, the amazing looking new drop tower coming to the park. If you don't know, the park have replaced the old Ramsay's Revenge, if you were a fan of that Huss top spin ride, with I think it's an SBF Visa drop tower. It's the same as Magma at Paulton's Park, very similar kind of ride in that it's not like an intense, scary, horrible drop tower like the likes of Detonator, Apocalypse. It's much more of a family variant, which obviously perfect for Chessington World of Adventures Resort audience. The thing that I'm really excited about with Croc Drop is obviously we went over the Winter's Tale event. The structure is looking absolutely incredible. Like, it just looks crazy. Like, it's massive. Like, I can't even tell you how big it is, and like the teeth all kind of, it just, the whole thing is so impressive, and it's so detailed. The outside of it covered in hieroglyphics and like theming, and I just feel like, I obviously don't know what's going to happen once you get inside the ride, but it feels like there's going to be a lot more going on in terms of theming, just to make a much more of a kind of like full package for the ride. Like, it looks like there's going to be some kind of like maybe like pre-show audio, something like that, lighting, fog effects, who knows what it's going to be, but I'm very excited, especially as someone who doesn't particularly love drop towers, which we'll get onto in a little bit. But yeah, I'm really excited for that. And then obviously again, getting on old favourites, Vampire. I'm very keen to just keep riding as much as I can, because I very much feel it stays unnumbered. I'm really worried it's just going to shut and never come back, so every time I go to Chessington I just keep making sure I ride it as much as possible. Depending on what happens with Blackpool, we'll likely get back up to Blackpool as well as probably popping into Thorpe Park, or just to kind of get that coaster thrill fix. I'm very much missing a ride on Stealth currently. I keep sitting there thinking, oh, I would love to be queuing up for that ride right now, and knowing that a ride is imminent. So yeah, that's kind of what March will look like. Into April then, and starting off with an early Easter this year. And the plan currently is to hit up Paultons Park. Obviously Paultons Park are opening a brand new land this year, Tornado Springs. Very excited for that one. Obviously the kind of key attraction of that new land is the max spinning coaster Storm Chaser. Personally, I'm not a massive fan of the max spinners. I think they're fine. They're a really fun ride, especially for families looking for that kind of in-between step before they get on that kind of big scary roller coasters. The thing I'm really looking forward to with this land is the theming. I think Paultons Park do a really good job of making these really vibrant, fun, exciting filled lands. Like, look at, I think, was it called Land of the Dinosaurs? I'm really terrible with names of things, but where the other dinosaur land, you know what I'm talking about, was really bright, colourful, vivid, exciting place to be, and I have a feeling that Tornado Springs is very much going to be similar to that in that aspect. And of course they have the giant flat ride, spinning frisbee ride, the Cyclonator as well, so I'd be excited to get on that as well. I love like Maelstrom and Flip Flop, so I'm really excited to ride that, because I think I'll love that as well. And the plan for that weekend is we'll do Paultons Park on the Friday, which is Good Friday, and then we will head over to the Isle of Wight for a couple of days. I have been to the Isle of Wight, I've been to the Isle of Wight a few times, but somehow every time I've been, just to kind of get the creds, like I've been on Cliffhanger and the Captain Jack's Runaway Train, I've been there, I've got the creds, but every time I've been it's poured down with rain, so I've never really, apart from when I was a really young kid and I don't really remember it, I've never really experienced everything the Isle of Wight has to offer. So we kind of said, my friends and I, we obviously haven't seen each other in so long because of the year, we kind of said about getting an Airbnb and just spending a couple of days across the Isle of Wight, just really taking it all in. Obviously heading to Black Gang Chine and checking out the weirdness there. You've got, it's called Needles Park, I think there's a bobsled around there as well. You've obviously got all the stunning beaches and the landscapes and stuff. There's loads of mini golf and God knows what else on that island to do, so we're really hoping that happens, because that's something I'm really excited about. And then on the Monday, coming home from the Isle of Wight, we're just going to check out some of the South Coast seaside parks that we missed on our cred run from 2019. We tried to cram in as much as we could, but there were still a couple we missed, so hoping to mop those up on the end of that trip. I've also got something pretty crazy planned for April. It's not crazy, like it's not absolutely wild or anything, but it's just crazy for me because Connor and I have never been on a package holiday or booked a package holiday. It's not really our style, not really what we tend to do. But while we were kind of looking at options for 2020, when things were really up in the air about where we could go, where we couldn't, one of the places that we considered was Turkey, to head out to the Land of Legends resort. And when we actually looked into it, it looked really cool. Actually, the hotel looks really nice, the water park looks great, there's loads of really fun, cool activities you can do. The theme park, obviously, they've got the giant Mack hypercoaster. It's the clone of, or near clone of Flash in China. It just looks like a really cool, fun resort, and I'm really excited to go there. So in over Christmas, kind of the period between Christmas and New Year, we just booked it. I think we booked it with Jet2 Holidays. Jet2 Holidays? Is that a thing? Something like that. But basically we rang them up and said, look, if we book this, what happens if there's lockdowns? What happens if we can't fly? What happens if the tiers come back in? and they were really helpful and basically said, yeah, like we're really flexible, like we'll help you move your booking, we can cancel it if you like. So we felt pretty secure in booking that, on the knowledge that if anything does happen, meaning that we can't travel, our money's pretty secure in terms of getting it back or moving the booking. So really excited to head out there. The obviously Hypercoaster looks insane. Like, you know me, I'm not a massive fan of the kind of larger Mack coasters, but that coaster looks like nothing else I've ever been on. And similarly, I'm not a huge fan of water parks, but the water park at this resort looks kind of like world class. And they've also got a 5D theatre in the water park that you go in like in your swimwear. So I'm really intrigued to see like what that is like, because I've never done anything like that, and I just love trying things I've never done before in terms of theme parks. So I'm really excited to get out there and try that. Moving into May, this is a weird one because it kind of started out us talking about Belgium, obviously with the likes of Conda, with the likes of the Ride to Happiness opening at Plopsaland. There's Fury at Bobbejaanland I haven't been on yet. It just seemed like very much a trip to Belgium was on the cards. So we always said, okay, well, we'll just head over to Belgium, do those parks. But then it came to light that the Ride to Happiness is probably not going to open till July, so more on that in a bit. So we rejigged things a little bit and we kind of went, oh, Phantasialand. We didn't get out to Ride Fly last year just because of COVID, and that's absolutely fine. But we had agreed, okay, let's all put aside 2 holiday days, and as soon as we're allowed to travel again, we'll just book a trip to Cologne, there and back, stay on resort at Phantasialand, do fly, come home. But then when we looked at the Belgium trip, it was kind of like, hold on, Phantasialand's very much within driving distance of these parks. Why don't we just tag on, like we've already got the holiday days put aside, so why don't we just tag on Phantasialand to this and kind of save ourselves the flight money? Because that's essentially what it would be. And then while we were there, we were like, well, Toverland's right there. Like, you know how it is when you're booking these, like, when you're planning these European road trips, there's always another park that's like, oh, that's right there. And you end up, like, ending up doing the whole of Europe. You have to kind of stay focused. So the trip we've ended up with is Bobbejaanland to ride Fury. For me, I've been there before, but getting back to ride Fury. Bellewaerde, amazing park, really cool. Like, it's kind of, it reminded me a lot of Chessington. It's like a zoo slash theme park. It's a really nice park. Wallaby Belgium, obviously for Conda, amazing looking. Intamin Mega Coaster, is that what we're calling it? Again, I'm terrible with names of things. You know what I mean. The big thing they're building at Wallaby Belgium. Also, I haven't been on Pulsar. I haven't been to Wallaby Belgium since 2014, and I've only been the one time, so they've had loads of new stuff since I last went. So yeah, Bobbejaanland, Bellewaerde, Wallaby Belgium, Toverland. I love Toverland. There's nothing new there for me, but I'm always happy to go back to Toverland. It's a fantastic park. And Phantasialand, obviously, to ride Fly, finally check out Rookburg, finally get my butt in the seat of the Vekoma flying coaster and check out myself. I'm so excited to do that coaster. Like, I don't think it's going to be like mind-blowing. I don't think it's going to like replace Taron in my top 10 or anything. It's been such a long time coming. Like, that coaster has been under construction for so long. Like, I'm really excited to get out and ride it. And this trip as well, like, I'm really excited to do it because I went on quite a similar trip back in 2011 when I was kind of first getting out and travelling around and visiting parks. We did a very similar trip, but it was Bobbejaanland, Toverland, Phantasialand and Efteling. So this feels quite nostalgic for me, going back to all of those parks on the same kind of trip, and I know that each park has something amazing to offer in its own way. So yeah, I'm really excited for that trip. June is an interesting one. It's kind of very much up in the air. Something I really would like to continue doing is getting out to more seaside parks. Last year I did kind of South Wales and kind of Western-super-Mare area. We also did kind of the opposite side of the country and did Norfolk, Great Yarmouth. So I really want to continue trying to get out to those smaller parks. So I expect June will contain a few of those. But I'm also looking to get up north to Yorkshire because I haven't been there in so long. I was trying to figure this out the other day, like, when was the last time I went to Flamingoland and like Water Valley? I legitimately, I have no idea. I'm pretty sure Connor has been with me to these parks, but I think it might have been 2013 was the last time I went. Like, it's been ages. And obviously Flamingoland are building the new coaster, so I'm hoping that will be open and ready by June, and we'll do a kind of weekend trip up to Yorkshire, hit up Flamingoland, but also make sure we stop in at Lightwater Valley as well on the way home, because You know, I love the Ultimate. The Ultimate is fabulous, amazing, iconic, and Lightwater Valley is another one of those parks where I feel like it doesn't have ages left. So I just want to make sure, like, I really wanted to get up there in 2020, but it's a long way for me to travel, and given that the cred for Flamingo Land wasn't opening last year, I didn't want to waste that trip and have to do it again. Not like it's a massive burden, like, oh my god, I have to go back to that theme park, woe is me, but you know what I mean, like, anyone like from the south can relate, like driving up to Yorkshire, it's a long way. But yeah, hopefully that happens in June as well. July will be Plopsaland. So like I say, originally we were going to do a kind of big Belgium trip, and Plopsaland was part of that, but then they announced that Ride to Happiness isn't opening until July. So again, we haven't decided on dates yet, we just know vaguely that in July we want to go to Belgium, to Plopsaland, to ride the Ride to Happiness, which I think just this week they came out is in conjunction with Tomorrowland, the massive music festival in Belgium. Amazing. I've been a little bit obsessed with that music festival for a long time. Personally, I don't love music festivals, like I've been to a few and they're just not really my cup of tea, but Tomorrowland has this amazing like stage theming and like lighting and lasers and screens and everything, like everything about it screams theme park. It's just a music festival, and I've always been kind of like, I can't justify spending all that money to go to a music festival that I know I'm not going to enjoy just to like gawp at the stage. So I'm really happy that finally like the two worlds are meeting. We're finally getting all of that awesomeness that the Tomorrowland stages are all about into a theme park setting where I know I'm really going to enjoy it. The max spinning coaster Time Traveller at Silver Dollar City, I was a little bit obsessed with it when it first was announced and being built. I still haven't ridden it myself because I went to Silver Dollar City a long time ago before that opened. I'm just really excited to get on it because I think it's going to ride like nothing else I've ever ridden before. I don't think I've ever experienced that kind of sensation of spinning but on a more extreme layout. So I'm a little bit nervous. It's going to make me feel sick, but hopefully it doesn't, and hopefully it kind of comes with all that Tomorrowland flair to distract if it does start to make me feel a little bit squiffy. Into August then. August is a month where I don't really tend to visit that many theme parks, and I guess throughout July as well this is kind of true, just because with the school holidays and things, like they do get really busy, which is absolutely fair enough. It's just if I have the option to not go when it's really busy and queuing hours and hours to ride coasters I know I can queue 20 minutes to ride, then it's something I usually avoid. But something we do have planned is for August Bank Holiday weekend to head out to northern Germany to visit Heide Park and Hansa Park. So Heide Park I last went to, I believe, in 2017 maybe. So before the Colossus revamp, I've been on Colossus as kind of its old iteration before and I really enjoyed it, but obviously it's been completely retracked, rethemed, everything, so I'm really excited to get back on that just to see what the changes bring, because it seems everyone I speak to seems to have a completely different opinion about that ride, so intrigued to find out for myself. And also the park is, I mean, I enjoy Heide Park, like we would probably stay on resort at the hotel because that hotel is amazing. You get the buffet with like free beer and wine. Very good. And I love Krak. Krak is one of my favourite dive coasters. Again, theming, amazing, like giant pirate ship with like a sea monster kraken dude with like octopus legs, and yeah, I love that ride and the soundtrack's amazing. And speaking about this, I've just realised one of my coaster enthusiast, theme park enthusiast New Year's resolutions was to ride more drop towers or slash things that scare me, and I've just realised that Heide Park is home to Scream, that massive terrifying scary drop tower that I've never ridden because I'm not absolutely mental, but I guess this year I've made a promise to myself that I'm gonna ride it, so I guess you have to see how that goes if we get out there and if I film a vlog and my thoughts and opinions on that. I'm really not looking forward to that. Something I am looking forward to though is getting back to Hansa Park. Love Hansa Park. Back to riding CANON, the amazing, terrifying CANON. That's like, you know, you have those coasters you're like, I love taking people on this for the first time and just like seeing their reactions. When I last went to Hansa Park, it was my first time riding CANON and it absolutely blew me away. It was amazing. And I'm really looking forward to taking people who've never been before to see it for themselves. That's going to be really fun. Getting back on Flugfang, one of my favourite coasters in Europe. Fantastic, amazing launch to go to Slough Eurofighter. They've also got a horrendous drop tower that I realise now I have to ride. I guess I'll just let that, like, it has an amazing IMA score soundtrack that I absolutely love, so I'll just let that distract me. I don't want to. Something else we're hoping to do on that trip is, if you watched my Instagram story or have read any of my subsequent blogs or tweets, when we went to Germany in October 2020, we ended up in a park called Karls Erlebnisdorf, which is like a strawberry farm themed, like, family entertainment centre theme park thing. Basically you go in and everything's themed to jam, and it smells like jam, and they had a roller coaster that was themed to like making crisps, and it was just all a bit mad. Like, you know, you get like weird European theme parks. Karl's is like the epitome of weird European theme parks, but in like a cute wholesome way and not in a weird like gross sexual odd way. But it turns out that Karl's is a chain, and a lot of the parks, or all of the parks, are based in northern Germany around the area where Heide Park and Hansa Park are. So my plan, if we have time, is to try and get out to a few more of the Karl's parks, because I won't lie, ever since we came back from that park, I've kind of been a bit obsessed with it. Like, it's amazing. Like, you just have to go. I can't even explain why it's so good. It just is. Like, everything's themed to jam, and it's just nuts and well themed, and it smells delicious, and the rides are good, and it's, yeah, fantastic. So hopefully we'll get out to a few more of the Karl's parks. I have a feeling that the one we went to just outside of Berlin is like their flagship, like, main park. So I don't know if the other parks will be as good as that one, but I mean, they're all the same brand, so hopefully they're still good. Moving into September then, I'm really excited that Oktoberfest is back. I think Thorpe confirmed, I don't know if Towers have confirmed yet, but Thorpe definitely confirmed that Oktoberfest is back. So yes, back to Oktoberfest. I absolutely loved Oktoberfest in 2020. It was such, like, just a nice respite from what was going on in the world, and when we visited, like, the weather was really nice. I had probably the best day at Thorpe I've ever had when we visited for Oktoberfest. We got on all of the coasters, we had plenty of time to pop in and out of the festival centre and have some beers, have some bratwurst. Just a lovely, chilled, perfect day at a theme park, and I'm so glad that we get to experience that again this year. Something obviously that not put a dampener on things, but made things a little bit difficult and strange with the Oktoberfest events at both parks was obviously the social distancing. Everyone had to adhere to social distancing, and when you think like the crazy beer tents at Oktoberfest or at like Winter Wonderland, if you've been to those, everyone's kind of like got their arms around each other and like singing and dancing and just having a good time. And obviously because of social distancing, that wasn't able to happen, but you really got the sense that everyone really wanted to, and everyone was like, if we were allowed, this is what we would be doing. So I'm really hopeful that 2021 allows that to happen and allows those events to kind of become fully realised, because I think there's just a lot of fun potential that is untapped there. And the same with Warren Towers. Like, we went to both in 2020, we'll be going to both in 2021 if both parks put that on as an event. That's something that I absolutely wouldn't miss in September, and it really kind of gave me something to look forward to between summer and Halloween. Moving into Halloween then, the most wonderful time of year, as I'm sure you are all well rehearsed in by now. You know I love Halloween, I love October, it's my birthday, it's spooky season, there's Halloween events, there's theme parks, it's everything I love squished into 1 month, and I love it. I live for October every single year. 2021's no different. Obviously, if you followed me for a while, especially over this past year, you will know that I turned 30 last year, and the plan was to go to northeast of America and visit those parks, or revisit those parks that I hadn't been to since 2012. Wrapped up with visiting some of the kind of like spooky towns, like go to Salem, go to Sleepy Hollow, visit some of the cities, go to Philadelphia, Washington. But obviously, because of COVID, that didn't quite happen. So I'm really hoping that this year that can happen, and I can finally get out onto my kind of road trip of dreams, my spooky American road trip, to visit all of those kind of bucket list places I'd like to go to. And obviously we'll be hitting up some theme parks along the way, so I'm talking Six Flags New England, Lake Compounce, Quasi, Hershey Park, Dry Candemonium, yay, Knoebels, and then obviously Busch Gardens Williamsburg, King's Dominion as well. We'll probably hit up basically all of like the main parks around that area of the world. We don't really have a solid plan, it's more just see what we can get to on what day. I'll be really interested to get some of the American Halloween events in that area as well, because I've only ever done the Floridian Halloween events in America, so it'd be cool to see what kind of events those places put on. And then coming back over to the UK, I'm also going to be obviously hitting up the old favourites, Fright Night, Scarefest, Chessington's Halloween. But I also want to make sure that I get out to some new events. My plan for 2020 that was sadly couldn't go ahead was to get up north and visit some of the northern kind of smaller like family run Halloween events. It's something I've wanted to do for a few years now, but for one reason or another we haven't been able to. Hopefully 2021 is finally the year that I get to do that. So it's like York Maze, is it Hallow Scream? I'm really bad with names. You know the ones I mean. York Scare Maze, is that a thing? You know the ones I mean. All the ones up north that I haven't been to yet, hopefully we're going to get to go to. So that is the plan. And then like I say, yeah, the usual kind of the staples of Halloween that were very, very missed last year. I'm talking Tully's Shocktoberfest, Burton's Screamfest, Fear at Avon Valley, all of those places hopefully coming back swinging for the 2021 scare season, and I will be there with bells on if it kills me, and that is not a pun. November will likely be a quiet month. I mean, like I ever have a quiet month in my calendar, my theme park season, but quieter. The only thing I can see happening in November is a Disneyland Paris jaunt. Like many of you probably know, a very close friend of mine works and lives in and around Disneyland Paris, so usually we would try and get over and see him once a year, and we usually obviously head into the parks for a quick visit as well. But that's very much, if we can go we will, and it will be really nice to get back to Disney because oh, Lord knows I've been missing the Disney magic. Like I've been going to at least one Disney park every year for God knows how many years now, so 2020 was like, oh, I missed going to a Disney park so much. My year really did feel emptier for it, and it's kind of only really sitting and talking about it now has made me realise how much I really missed going. So yeah, hopefully that will happen, but again, like I say, these things aren't set in stone, nothing's booked, it's very much loosey-goosey. If it happens, it happens, and I'll be very, very pleased for it. And then into December, so the plan for December last year was to get back to Europa Park and stay on resort. I haven't been to Europa Park since 2015, so it's changed a lot as I'm told. I've been to Europa Park a couple of times and I've never really got it, I guess. It's never really been for me, but I'm told that over the past kind of 6 years since I last visited, the place has changed quite significantly. So, I mean, like I haven't been on Can Coaster, I haven't visited Rulantica, I haven't, what else have they had? I haven't been on Voletarium, and I love me a flying theatre. There's quite a lot that I feel there for me to experience, so we're looking to do a kind of Christmas visit to Europa Park, stay on resort, have a lovely chill time, visiting the theme park, visiting the water park, enjoying the on-resort accommodation. That is hopefully going to be the plan. And then back to the UK, we'll likely visit some of the seasonal theme park Christmas events, just as and when we can get to them. We usually get to Chessington because it's local to us. I'd quite like to get up to Warwick Castle as well, because that event this year looked absolutely magical, and that was obviously with COVID restrictions in place. So think what it will be like once the COVID restrictions are lifted. Like, I bet it's absolutely magical, but that is what we will be doing to kind of see the year out. So there you have it, a little whistle stop tour of what I'm hoping my 2021 shapes up to be. Obviously, like I said, loads of caveats and many multiple reasons why that might not happen, why it could not happen, should not happen, will not happen, will happen. It's very much up in the air, but that doesn't stop me thinking about it and dreaming of the possibilities of what the season ahead could bring, and that's what I love. That's why I love sitting down and making these plans and trying to sort stuff out, because it gives me something to look forward to, and Lord knows we need something to look forward to right now. It's very depressing times. I really hope you're all holding up well, hanging in there. I know that personally I'm not having a fantastic time right now, but this kind of thing really helps get me through it, and I really hope that it could do the same for you as well. So if you've enjoyed this video, give it a little thumbs up for me. Let me know in the comments what your plans are for this year. Where are you hoping to get out to? What's your kind of biggest bucket list coaster that you'd like to tick off this year? Do you think I'm absolutely mad for planning this far ahead? And do you think I'm delusional? Probably a little bit. But yeah, let me know in the comments. I love having a chat with you guys down there. And if you like this video and you haven't already, please do subscribe. If you like theme parks, if you like roller coasters, if you like talking about that kind of thing, then that's what we do here. So I mean, usually, like I say, it's usually out and about in the parks vlogging, but while they're closed, I'll sit in my living room and talk about theme parks instead, and that will kind of give me the hit that I need, the theme park rush that I need to kind of carry me through this close season. And all I can say is roll on March 2021, fingers crossed, praying to the roller coaster gods that everything goes okay and we can all get back into a theme park very soon. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you later. Bye.